Here we go. What is YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check it out without a doubt, man. We are on our live channel once again. Man, we stay over here, man. We got people coming in and we got new people coming in and all that stuff. And we playing videos and we talk about it a whole lot longer and get our chat room involved in what's going on. So if you need some support, any type of support system, man, we are here to help support people. And this video right here, check this out. Poverty in the United States, main reason for the removal of children from parents. The main reason is poverty. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hey, let's check this bad boy out.
I don't think I could ever be a normal mom without having to think about the department. I'm walking on eggshells, and I don't think that's how you're supposed to live, as a parent.
What DCFS doesn't realize is that when they take these children from their parents, they're not just separating the child from the parent, they're separating the parent from the child. It's trauma on both ends.
Wow, that's something to think about right there. Yeah, the parents. Wow, that's crazy.
It was scary because I didn't know how to react to it. They're kidnapping my son. That's the way I looked at it.
The primary reason for child welfare involvement is neglect. Which is a broad, very amorphously defined concept that basically conflates with poverty and these conditions that are related to poverty, such as homelessness, right? Such as lack of access to childcare, such as food insecurity. All these things are being criminalized, right, by a system that does not provide the solutions to those conditions, but rather takes families through an entire court process of prosecution that oftentimes leads to trauma, disruption, and actual destruction of family ties.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. All right, you gonna have a good day?
All righty.
All right, high five. All right. My life before DCFS involvement was great. Every day was full of laughter and definitely loudness. We would do our turn up hour and then we would dance and we sing and have a bunch of little party turn up really quick before bed. Whee! DCFS asked me to drug test and I tested positive for marijuana, of course, because I use it medicinally. And at that time, the judge said, we're going to make children ward of the state, but they'll stay in your care.
Are you excited to see your kids?
Yeah.
How do you feel every Thursday when you're going to see them?
I'm usually happy and sad at the same time.
Court-ordered supervision, or sometimes called family maintenance, is a very invasive and very intrusive government intervention into the privacy of the family.
One likes talkies. The social worker was making me upset because she would pop up at my kid's school. She would pop up at my house and I'd be in the middle of cooking dinner and she's like, can you turn the dinner off? I started to get frustrated. You're coming here every 2 weeks. You're stopping my day. Now you want to do a walkthrough. You want me to undress the kids. You want to take my children in the rooms, interrogate them, and ask them very inappropriate questions. That is very, very inappropriate.
Wow, that's crazy.
If you're looking for a reason to say there's some risk, if you keep looking,
you're going to find something.
You could probably find something in any family. They can take note of many small things. And there's just so much discretion for the caseworker to come in and decide.
For me, it's defamation of character. Because in those reports, when I read them, it feels like I'm reading a story about someone else.
You hear that? This is a case about her, and she reading a report, and I swear it ain't me. Sound like it's a report about somebody else. Wow, that's crazy.
Information of character. Because in those reports, when I read them, it feels like I'm reading a story about someone else. When they come to your house, they perceive you as a people, not as an individual. You're Eleanor, you're Black. You must have problems and you need our help. Because best believe, if you've got money, DCFS won't knock on your door. Because you just hand them a card to your lawyer. You've got that whole day of November 1st, right? I sent my kids to school in their Halloween costumes. 3 o'clock when I went to pick up my kids from the bus, they didn't get off. I will never forget that feeling. Because I knew then that they took my kids without me knowing. No one called me to tell me they took my children from me. No one gave me a paperwork. No one gave me a warrant. No one gave me anything.
We need jackets.
When the police and the ambulance got to my home, the father was gone. I met initially with a DCF investigator who questioned me, asked me what happened. From there on, a lot of it is a blur because it was so traumatizing. Within the week, I had already lost custody of the kids, and I wasn't allowed to go back to the hospital to see my son. So once the court took temporary custody, the kids were placed into the foster system.
The legal removal from her care happened while she was at the hospital and without a full discussion of what it was.
Nobody explained to me anything of the order of temporary custody. Nobody explained to me the petition to terminate my parental rights.
Remember, she didn't have a lawyer yet at that point. So in those moments, the parent really has no leverage, no ability to negotiate, and no one to tell them, other than the agency, what's going on and what are the variables.
I love you and have a good day. I love you more.
DCF was aware of us because I had a prior case, which I didn't reunify with my children, and Adrian tested positive for drugs from his parole officer.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Automatically, they assumed that I was dirty, and that led to the removal of Maximus. That's all they needed. They said it was the allegation of neglect, so they just painted a picture of their own. At the beginning, we only got to see him, twice a week?
Go to the camera. Oh, you're so cute.
Our son is getting closer to this other family, and because we're not seeing him as often and as much.
Tickle butt? He was more quiet. Like when we had visits,
he was more closed off.
He wasn't playful with us, though. He wasn't playful with us like he was the foster family.
My oldest is the one that gets hit the hardest. His trauma is behavioral, emotionally, anxiety. He suffers from PTSD.
They're not protecting our children. They're just giving our children to random people and expecting them to care about our kids the same way we do.
September 29th, 2022. Color for today is brown. Boy is...
They assigned us requirements to do in order to get Max back. Individual therapy sessions, parenting classes, substance abuse classes along with random color testing.
So today is brown, meaning anybody who was assigned the color brown has to go and do their P test for drugs. Yeah. Today's not our color though. Mine's pink and Adrian's is red.
I completed all my steps before my 6 months. So what you want me to do? Double of everything? I finished it already. I did what I was supposed to. And they still held on to my kids for 3 years.
3 years?
Often these service plans really have nothing to do with either the issues that brought the family into the system or with their needs or their desires or anything that will benefit them.
They never ask you what actually helps you.
The thing is, you're never quite free from them. A poor parent exists in a web of surveillance and expectation and lack.
The system spends about 10 times more on investigation, separation, and terminating children's rights and adoption than it does on so-called preventive services that would be accessible for parents to avoid having to come into the child welfare system.
In other words, the system lacks helping people. It's easy. All you got to do is help people. Focus on helping people, not hurting them.
It's called a tick box exercise, Mike. That's all they're doing.
I can't believe they're taking these kids like that, man. That's crazy.
Well,
So-called
you think about it.
Services that would.
Go ahead.
You think about it. It's a lot like allegedly our healthcare system, right? There's no money in the help, right? There's no money in helping and preventing. The money is in when you get sick and when now they have to, amputate your leg, allegedly.
Yeah, the money is in not curing the disease, but just treating it until your liver gives out.
Yeah, all they're bothered about is that they get money per child, and that money goes into their business and pays their wages. That's and I can speak directly and not even allegedly over here in this country, right? That it's literally called a tick box exercise, and they have quotas of how many children need to be taken away from their parents.
That's crazy.
And
Man,
Ada, you are not alone, honey. You are not alone. There are so many parents that have gone through this. So many. You are not alone.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's keep going.
A poor parent exists in a web of surveillance and expectation and lack.
The system spends about 10 times more on investigation, separation, and terminating children's rights and adoption than it does on so-called preventive services that would be accessible for parents to avoid having to come into the child welfare system.
That's crazy. The way she just broke it down, that's crazy.
Bills and more bills. After your rights are terminated, and then they give you one final visit. And when you think about like a final visit with your 4-year-old, your 3-year-old, it's a really long time. It's a really long time for them to be 18.
There's something completely wrong with their structure of how they go about determining on if a child is really being neglected or if a parent just needs some type of guidance, needs some therapy, needs some help for the substance abuse class, or needs somebody just to talk to because they're depressed. And we're off, Max.
We already know that poverty is the main driver. Put that money into communities. We know the zip codes. We know what the conditions of those communities are.
As far as what my children have endured in these past 3 years, it's gonna be a huge adjustment. Them ain't the same kids. Those are traumatized children. Those are children that have been through something. I feel like I'd be the best person to fix all those problems. Would it be easy? No. It's gonna be a hellified road. Am I ready for it? Yes. Am I willing to take it on? 100%. I gave birth to all those kids, and I would give my life for all those kids.
That's crazy, man. They spend more time and effort in dividing the family up. United we stand, divided we fall. But
Yep.
the trip me out is it's like nobody want to concentrate on helping people. They should have a system in place to help these parents. It should be a system where the mother come and monitor and talk to the kids and ask the kids questions or something. I don't know. Only thing I know is
Why do you think that all over the world there are these small charities popping up to help people? Now, these charities shouldn't need to exist. You know
exactly. The government should be helping people.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're doing shouldn't need to exist. We shouldn't have to be doing what we're doing and trying to put this plan together.
Right. We shouldn't be. You're right. This whole channel, what we doing right now, should not be happening because every country should have this already in place.
Yeah, exactly. But you see all these and governments all over the world, especially in the bigger countries, you know, the more when I say bigger, I don't mean by landmass, I mean by their state of the world, you know what I mean? But you see that the governments are relying on charities to sort these stuff out. When I'm sorry, but when we elect somebody and we elect a government, the government are the people that should be looking after us. That is why you elect a government.
Exactly. By the people, for the people.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna get on up out of here. Let me put a closing on this, man. That is crazy. Y'all come over to the Music Recording Network Live, where we talk more and more about all the stuff that's going on with the kids. Where are the children? We have a lot of people that has been, lack of a better word, abused in some type of way. They come up to say their stories and everything. I try to help as many people as I can. So we putting together a system and a team. So come on over and join us. Look here, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. You tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.